let's talk a little bit here about Cyberpunk and the revival of Cyberpunk, because it's been pretty crazy how this game has come back in the last week since their latest update. So as we know, Cyberpunk 2077, right? It's a game with mixed, I guess, feelings for a lot of people. They had a terrible release. You could say they lied a lot in the marketing for this game, essentially releasing it on the PS4 and the Xbox One completely broken. And I think even on like the PS5 and the Xbox Series, it wasn't in the best state that it could have been. And there was just terrible PR, like their stock dropped after they released the game, and it wasn't good. And now we've gotten an update 1.6 for Cyberpunk, which has seemed to completely revitalize this game. What, we're about 2 years, I think, since it released, came out in 2020. So 2 years later. Yeah, so 2 years later, they've completely revitalized it, and apparently now they have they have over 1 million new and returning players within Cyberpunk 2077, which I think is a crazy comeback for them. So they say every day the past week, Cyberpunk 2077 has seen 1 million new and returning players prowling the streets of Night City. The numbers stated are combined across all platforms, but Steam alone has reported average concurrent players doubling over the past month. And this is what the Edge Runners 1.6 update, which I believe has put the game in the best state, and it has like the all these updates for it that are making it run smoother. And then they also released the Netflix series, the anime, which I've watched the first episode, and I have to say it is pretty damn good for like the art style and everything that they're going for. I have to finish that, which has probably got a lot more people interested in the game. So I have a couple questions here I want to talk about. One, what are your thoughts on them coming back? And two, do you think this is something that 343 and Halo need to look at as a way to try to get more people back into Halo? And do you think Halo could ever do something like this and revitalize the game the way the Cyberpunk has done it?
All right. Well, before that, I know you didn't ask me, but the TV series, I actually also saw just episode 1. So, it started out pretty good, interesting. Now, going to your questions now. Your first question, I actually haven't jumped into Cyberpunk again, but for me, my experience was actually a great experience on the first try. I played it on Xbox Series S, and I did have like 3 to 4 bugs at most, and there was just like bugs like maybe a car disappeared or my gun disappeared. It wasn't nothing major, so for me, it was a great experience. I understand people were pissed because of their because they probably played it on the old console, or even I heard people having issues on Series X, Series S, PlayStation 5, which unfortunately it's unfortunately that they had to go through this inconvenience. I think 343, they kind of had to lie because of the investor. I felt like it felt like the investor had a lot of say on this game, and they had a lot of pressure on this. I'm not defending them, but that's what I felt. So I would like them to actually somehow be purchased, maybe by someone that they don't have to worry about investor. That would be great. But sorry, what was your first question again? Did I answer it?
Are you surprised? Are you surprised that they've come back? Really? I mean, I'm not that surprised that Cyberpunk has come back.
No.
I don't know.
I'm not, especially now that I'm playing The Witcher 3, and I invested like I have to be around 50 hours or 50-hour plus, who knows. And the game, as I've heard from many people, the game was actually broken too when it came out. So
I played it way after release, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, they seem to be had a lot of problems also with their engine. That's why they're switching now to Unreal Engine. And hopefully, they can get things together for their next release, and it doesn't come out broken. And then your next question was, do you think Halo could come back?
Yeah.
I actually, yeah.
Before I should have asked one at a time, but before you get that, I do want you to answer that question. Have you been seeing the Forge stuff that's been going on with
Yes.
Halo? So
Oh yes.
there is like some craziness going on here. I don't know if you saw this, but this guy made an entire battle royale game already within Forge,
Oh really? I didn't saw that.
which
I
is
didn't see
just
that.
it's just absolutely nuts. But he actually created a map, has loot boxes, all of that stuff. Pretty crazy. This person here made Lord of the Rings in
Oh
Halo.
wow. Oh,
This
I saw one with the Hobbit.
or yeah, the Hobbit, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Um, where's the other one? I have another one here where they made. Where is it? I don't. Okay, I must have accidentally not put up there, but they made like Toy Story, and then they made
Yeah, I saw
Mario
that one.
Kart as well. So it's crazy.
Oh,
So
Mario Kart.
yeah, they made Mario. So with all that in mind, like the question is, do you think Halo? What do you think Halo has? Well, I guess what do they have to do to come back? And do you think they can have a Cyberpunk story, which is like, could they ever have like 1 million people in their game per day? Which I think honestly, Halo as a franchise, it could happen if they would have had the release right and they would have had consistent content. But do you think they could ever get to something like this?
Yes, I think I do. They do, and I think they took the right approach, which it's what I wanted them to do, which was, just don't worry about the 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 close future, because you're so far behind. Unfortunately, you messed up. There's no coming back from that. You weren't ready for the content release, so you might as well just delay everything as much as you can, and then it's start from scratch from there. And then from there, make sure you have a great roadmap that you can actually hit, and then start coming with constant content from there on. Like every 3 months, you should come with enough content to make people happy for the next 3 months. I don't think even what is it, season 3 is gonna be it, but
No.
hopefully, season 4, season 5, that becomes it. And I think, well, I even saw information today that certain Affinity, they did confirm that they are working on this mode, or this something on Halo Infinite.
You know what?
So
This right here.
oh, oh, you got it. You
Yeah.
actually got it. So hopefully, what I think they're going to do is they're gonna have that roadmap, and then they're gonna time it when they feel it's right, and that's when they're gonna go back with heavy marketing and be like, okay, this is where, from here on, is where Halo is back, and that's what they should do. But right now, they should just stay quiet, keep improving the game mechanics. Oh well, not the game mechanics. Game mechanics are great, but the gameplay, keep adding content, fixing their store, fixing many things that people have been complaining about. And I think eventually, because I think hey, this is the best Halo gameplay wise to me,
Yeah, I
and
agree.
and feel wise. So all they need to do is fix the constant content.
Yeah, no, I agree with you with the gameplay thing. That's why it's like so disappointing, I think, for a lot of people too, is that you have the prospect of it being just so good if they had tons of content and they just haven't
Yeah,
delivered yet. But again, it's been out a year, right? So
yeah. Another quick thing is, like, I seen my little two cousins. They love playing around on Roblox.
okay.
And it's crazy the things people make in Roblox, different type of games. And that's kind of what I'm seeing with this Halo. Like, people, Forge hasn't even come out, and they're making like so many like random things. And I feel like this could be, in that scenario, the Forge could be like the Roblox creator, but kind of like for people that want more mature content. Because Roblox, people think of it more like for kids, but this could be actually pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, from what we're seeing, like when you see something like this where some guys already made like a battle royale game in Forge,
Yeah.
it's just like it's crazy the amount of stuff that people are going to make. And I guess that's probably at the end of the day that's their end goal for Halo, is to kind of make this Forge thing so amazing that the community will be able to create nonstop content. So I mean, we'll see how it plays out. I guess the only other thing to that is, if you're somebody who's not really into Forge, right? You just want to play like arena, you want to just play some more competitive game modes, you're kind of left out here with not with the amount of content that they've been giving. And hopefully they do pick that up, because I think that's an extremely important side of Halo 2, is the more
Yeah.
competitive side. Like, the casual side is with all I play, right? And that's what most people play. But I think the competitive side is extremely important too, to keep this game like relevant for years and years.
I also think they have to fix even like this could actually help a bit even currently right now. Like if I want to play a quick play match and I want to play a certain mode, let me play that mode. Like you get what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that
I,
part. Yeah,
I,
when they cycle them in and out, you can't choose.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like you said, there's also this from Certain Affinity, which I'm assuming is a battle royale game. We don't have like, they pretty much just said that they can't comment on it other than they're working completely on Halo. I'll just read here what they said. They say here, but we're doing something unannounced, and we're doing lead development on that unannounced thing from conception and design. It's something big and new for the franchise, but I can't say any more about it. That's our single largest project. Of our 3 projects currently, we have close to 100 developers working on that, which will make you believe something big and new. There's been the rumors of Battle Royale. Most likely it's Battle Royale. You can probably hang your hat on the fact that it is Battle Royale.
Yeah.
And we saw this. Again, these are all rumors, so take these with grains of salt, the infamous saying. But this person here tweets out that here is a summary by Bathrobe Spartan of the upcoming Halo Infinite Battle Royale mode based on the information they were able to discover. And they're saying here, summarize, all the things we found made us believe that Certain Affinity and 343 Industries are creating a different kind of BR game. While it's still about doing a top 1, you seem to have much more control about the loot and how you'll get it. Basically, you're playing a classic game types, control a zone, bring an objective to the point, etc. Of Halo within a giant map. It's not only about eliminating players to get their loot, it's about playing objectives to increase your loot and the control you have over it. It seems to be done this way, so you rely less on RNG and luck to get your loadout, but more on tactical decisions and strategy. In the end, they're bringing Halo classic gameplay to a battle royale rather than just injecting battle royale within Halo, with a very straightforward FPS gameplay without too much worries about the resource management and such. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, it sounds good that they're taking the approach, not thinking of, you know, making Halo adapt to the battle royale, rather making the battle royale adapt to Halo. But let's one thing is saying it, the other thing is actually implement. So I'm super excited to see what it's gonna look like. I already think of it. I kind of think sometime in my mind. A huge battle royale with all these players. You have the big tanks. You have the Warhawks. You got the all the different type of vehicles. It's gonna be chaos. So I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, I mean, for me, hearing this about their battle royale is like, I'm very happy to see it if they're going this direction, because I'm not a big fan of battle royale games. I think the only game I've actually put in a ton of time into has been well, not even a ton of time, but put in an okay amount of time, has been Apex Legends. But other than that, I get bored by the basic BR gameplay style of stuff. And if they're gonna make a game in the Halo universe that has a ton of players in a battle royale mode, but you can like go around and get objectives and actually have stuff to do throughout the entire game, I'll be happy. Because that's my biggest thing with battle royale, is like, I not good enough to go around and take everybody out. So I literally just run around, get loot, and then just sit in a corner for the entire game for like 10 minutes, just waiting for people to come by. And I just get bored. But
Let me ask you this real quick. I don't know if this has been implemented in any battle royale, but what would you think if they implement? Of course, you have your battle royale players, but what if they also have like enemies, like like for example, if it's Halo, like they have the grunts, they have the elites, etc. They have them roaming around, so they can also kill you, and you can also kill them, and maybe
Yeah, I mean,
get weapons from them or something.
yeah, it was in what was the game mode in Halo 5? It was like that big multiplayer mode where you would go and you would like kill the what was it, war or something. Anyways, there was a mode similar to that in Halo 5, which I found was a ton of fun where they had NPCs as well in there. And I think that would be awesome to implement. Just something to keep you like, let's say you go out, you find the best gear, something to keep you playing rather than just
Like,
camping
yeah,
type of thing.
yeah,
Which brings me to like, I'm just going to transition this here, which brings me to like one of my biggest gripes right now with Modern Warfare 2 with the beta is that I feel like it's built for campers. Like you can't rush and stuff. And I don't know, maybe it's just my game, but still maybe it's because I need that constant like engagement. I want to be running around and it's like super hard right now. And I've been watching people talk about it to see if I was the only one thinking like this. And I feel like a lot of people are thinking along those lines, which brings me again to another thing I'm just thinking about here as I'm just rambling. If they come out with this Forge, if they come out with great stuff in the season 4, let's say they come out with a battle royale, Modern Warfare 2, I believe, is a 2-year game. Do you think that, and if it comes into Game Pass as well, which I know Halo is free to play, but like still Game Pass free to play, like people kind of think when it comes into Game Pass it's free, even though technically it's not. Do you think that will have any effect of people choosing to play um, Halo over Call of Duty? Do you think like any people will be going and be like, I'd rather just play Call of Duty right now than jump into whatever new content comes out for Halo?
Well, I'm hoping that they're smart enough to, distance whatever new season they that this would be. Let's say it's season 4, and it matches up with Modern Warfare 2, Game Pass release. They should at least, give it 2 months of a difference, or a month, or something like that. Because if you put them out together, which if we think about things like if they would have last year just released Forza Horizon 5, and then this holiday we would have had Halo Infinite, it would have actually worked much better for them. And then you would have had much time for Halo Infinite. Of course, people would have been pissed about it,
Yeah.
but the end result would have been much better.
Yeah, that's always something you got to kind of think about is they delayed it an entire year. People were pissed. But when it came to 2021, when they were about to release it, the hype was there and people wanted to jump in and they did at the
Yeah.
start. So if they would have done the same thing and released it in 2022, would it have been the same result and they would have just had more content? People would have stayed longer. That's something that that's definitely like up in the air, I think. But
I think even if they would have released it with the content that they originally released it, people would have been because people were happy at the beginning.
yeah,
People were happy at the multiplayer and at the at the campaign, and I would have probably done that. That way, the next 3 months I would have had a bigger update, and then the 3 months later, that would have actually maybe have them set
yeah.
that they unfortunately we had to go through all these months without almost barely any content. But if they would have done that, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, and we're seeing the results of the last year with everyone. Well, I guess Bonnie Ross leaving. That's the big thing. I
Yeah,
know if it's for family reasons, hope all the best. But like, there must have been some sort of like,
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah. You know what
yeah.
I'm trying to say. There must have been some sort of consequence for the result because you look at the player numbers, even on the Steam charts, like, yeah, it doesn't tell the whole story because you don't have the Xbox numbers, but the game has fallen off. At the end of the day, it's fallen off to an extent where there's other games that are just so much bigger than it. Like Halo should be a game that's at the forefront of first person shooters, in my opinion. It should be up there with Call of Duty. So that's why it's kind of like it's a I don't know, it's a big measuring stick, and it's not even close to it.